Hey guys, this is another review. This will be a Wrong Turn 2 Dead End. And this was released. It was the first direct to DVD movie. And but nonetheless it was my favorite series of the whole franchise, or my favorite entry in the whole franchise. To me it was the best movie that the Wrong Turn series has ever seen. And a lot of people share that opinion. But then there are also some people who hate this movie. One, because, the acting's not the best. And, some people don't like the whole reality show thing. But I think the reality show's fine. Because after a while, the reality show is pretty much off. Because they start dying in real life. So, anyway, let's get into the movie. So, this probably will have some spoilers. Because sometimes whenever I start talking about Wrong Turn 2, I keep rambling. So, if you haven't seen Wrong Turn 2, don't watch this review. Unless you don't care. If you haven't seen it, but you don't really care about spoilers, then by all means, you can watch it. But if you haven't and you want to see the movie for yourself, you don't want any spoilers, then I would recommend clicking off this video. So, let's get into it. It starts off with Kimberly Caldwell from American Idol. She is supposed to be a contestant on the show. And so she's driving, and soon enough, as the title suggests, she takes a wrong turn. She makes a wrong turn. She goes down the wrong road, eventually accidentally running over one of the cannibals. And this cannibal was Brother, which was the teenage cannibal. The teenage boy cannibal. So, she starts freaking out because she doesn't know it's an inbred crazy hillbilly. She thinks it's just some normal guy. So she starts freaking out. She gets out. And one gripe I have with this scene is, why did she stick her fingers in his mouth? I've never heard of that before. That's just a minor gripe. It doesn't really matter. But I was just thinking, what does that do? Who does that? Anyway. So, she, sticks her fingers in his mouth and then starts, comfort him and saying, "Oh, I'll be here. It's okay." And then, out of nowhere, he jumps up and bites her lips off. Because if you guys didn't know, this might be a little spoiler. But, if you're watching at this point, I don't think you care about spoilers. Basically, these hillbillies are almost invincible. Two reasons. One, in the fourth one, they were saying that... Oh, that's a spoiler. Well, one is because they have a birth defect that makes them not be able to feel pain. And two, because of the chemical waste that they've been drinking. Basically, all these chemicals flew into the river, and they started drinking that water, which gave them birth defects like that. So, inbreeding and the chemical waste mixing together created a huge birth defect that made them not be able to feel pain. So he pops right up, bites her lips off, and she starts to try and run away, and then she's stopped by Three Finger. And then Three Finger, this was probably the coolest death in the whole movie. He just raises his axe and brings it right down, splitting her straight through the middle. And wow, if you don't like gore, you do not want to watch this movie. Because this scene alone will be enough to make any squeamish person feel a little sick. So that is a very gory scene, and probably my favorite death scene. And basically that just tells you that this movie is going to be a lot more over the top than Wrong Turn 1 was. And it's going to be very gory. So, then it cuts to everyone, all these contestants. Now this is where the real premise comes in. Cuts all these contestants, and they're at this place, and they're going to be on a reality show called Ultimate Survivalist: The Apocalypse, run by none other than Henry Rollins, which was really cool. He plays Dale Murphy, is it? I think it might be Murphy. I forget. But all I know is his first name is Dale. He plays Dale, which is like this Rambo type guy. He's really cool in this movie. He's awesome. Probably the best character in the movie. I mean, actually, no. 100% the best character in this movie. So, there's cameras set up all over the woods, and these people are going to be on this reality show. But they don't know, what they don't realize is the family of inbred hillbilly cannibals are living there. And soon enough, they start being picked off one by one. So, that's the premise for this movie. It's an okay premise. I know some people hated it. I like it. It's okay. But obviously, I'm not watching this for the reality show aspect. And it's pretty obvious that the reality show was just a way to get them there. Kind of, I mean, it was a little more of an original premise. But one thing is, it doesn't really live up to his name that well. No one really makes a wrong turn except Kimberly in the very beginning. So, yeah, that's the premise. I'll talk about what I like about this movie. Number one, it is very fun movie. It is a very fun movie. From the death scenes, just the gore effects, just all that makes it really fun to watch. Number two, the cannibals. This movie has my favorite family of cannibals. I mean, obviously, One Eye, Three Finger, and Sawtooth are really cool too. It's just something about Pa, Ma, brother, sister, and Three Finger that it's just, I like them so much more. Maybe because there's more of them, which I think is really cool. Also, the guy who plays Pa is Ken Kirzinger, and he played Jason in the Freddy vs. Jason movies, I think. I know he played Jason in some movie. I think it was Freddy vs. Jason. But yeah, he's the main cannibal, Pa, the main antagonist, and he looks really cool. One of his most notable deformities is he has kind of a lip cleft, but also teeth. Looks like ingrown teeth. I don't know if that's a real thing, but that's what it looked like. And then Brother, which is like a teenage cannibal, and his twin sister, and they're really disturbing in this movie. There's a lot of disturbing things with them, because they're very incestual with each other. And then there's Ma, which you don't see her that much. She's mainly just cooking. But something I noticed was she always looked really sad. She was angry in some of the parts, but she just looked like she didn't want to be there. And then there's Three Finger, obviously, which, I mean, you don't see Three Finger too much. In the dinner scene, he's not there. I wish he was. I don't know where. Oh yeah, that was. Oh, never mind. I just realized that was at the point, because like I said, there's gonna be spoilers. So if you still haven't clicked off, and you're afraid of spoilers, then click off now. I forgot to realize that Three Finger was actually shot with a shotgun, but he was still alive. But I guess they wanted to save that kind of like shocking moment until the end. Because Dale, Henry Rollins, shot Three Finger. So, then let's go over the things I didn't like about this movie. I don't know. One, the acting wasn't that good. There are some pretty bad lines in this movie. And the actors don't do them justice. Also, some of the characters aren't that likable. I'll say that the two most likable characters are, actually no, three that I can think. Hang on, let me think. Yeah, pretty much the three likable characters are, to me at least, are Mara, which is the producer of the show, Dale, which is just the freaking awesome guy, and then, what was his, Jake, because he's the guy with, like, he has the morals and stuff. Nina, I don't know, she can be kind of like a jerk, and then Amber, I mean, she's a fine character, but I never cared about her. I was never given a reason to care about Amber. And then Jonesy, he can be funny, but God, sometimes he can just be so annoying that I just don't care about him. So, is there really anything else I don't like about this movie? I mean, I love this movie. I watched this one, like, so many times. And this was the first one I ever watched. I actually watched this whenever I was, like, 9 years old. My mom and my brother were watching it. And I was in the room. I wasn't really paying attention. And the only, like, before I watched it again, just early, like, a couple months ago, because I really started getting into Wrong Turn again a couple months ago. But whenever I was, like, 8 or 9, and whenever I saw it, the only scene really I remembered from it was the sex scene. Mainly because, since I was so young, I asked my mom, I was like, what are they doing? And then she just said bad stuff. So, because she didn't want to tell me what it was. So that's pretty much the only scene I remembered, which is kind of bad if you think about it. I was only 8. Oh well. And not the part whenever it shows nudity. I'm talking about whenever Elena and M, they start getting naked and stuff. But it doesn't show anything in that part. I didn't remember the nudity part from whenever I was 8 or 9. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this movie. I just recorded Wrong Turn 1 review a couple seconds ago. So, yep, that's it. Once again, my Twitter will be in the description if you wanted to follow me. Because sometimes I tweet during Raw, like WWE events. And then other times I'll just tweet about random stuff. And also, I have a Facebook page, not about me, but it's a Wrong Turn fan page. I'll also put that in the description in case you wanted to like that, because I post stuff on there. And so far no one else has liked it, but I'm trying to get a fan page going. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.